Coming up on Mountain News this morning, several were honored last night at the Harlan County Chamber of Commerce's annual award gala.
And after months of protest and asking about their lost pay, black jewel miners may finally have their answers. But for one family, another battle is still ahead.
Plus, a former Morehead State University employee is accused of stealing thousands of dollars from the school.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:32 on October 25th. I'm Madison Pergram.
And I'm Will Puckett on this Friday. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning.
I keep saying it, but happy Friday. We've made it there.
We've made it here, and I've got about 30 more minutes until I got to stop running this foot prompter, and I cannot wait.
Well, let's go to Brandon Robinson. It is going to be maybe a rainy weekend, so people need to pull out the rain gear.
Exactly, especially tomorrow. So just kind of keep that in mind. But today, a few clouds this morning. Let's take a look. Satellite radar loop the last 6 hours. They've started to stream in the overnight hours, but you'll notice at times you can kind of see through them. So again, some sunshine possible early. That will change by this afternoon. McKee looking all good this morning. As you head down to Jackson County, no issues with the conditions anyway. Some cool temperatures though, 39 in Harlan, Middlesboro, low 40s out toward Lake Cumberland and I-75, upper 40s into the Kentucky River and the Big Sandy, especially on those ridge tops. 12-hour planner for today, 65s are high. The cloud cover will start to really stream in after lunchtime, and those chances for rain will pick up as we head into the evening hours. The full forecast, including tracking that rain, coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, it's a light at the end of the mine shaft.
On a hot night at the end of July, a small group of newly unemployed miners blossom into Mine Shaft City.
For months, black jewel miners and their supporters camped out in front of a fully loaded coal train in Harlan County with one question in mind: where is our money? Now they and their former co-workers in surrounding states may have an answer.
Black Jewel's attorneys said in a release that the paychecks will be mailed out and delivered in the coming weeks. WYMT's Connor James talked with many who have been there from the beginning about what this all means.
For months, it was this site in the heart of Cumberland that drew national attention. Now it sits vacant. The only sounds, the cars that drive by.
It brings back the memories of all of us being here.
Daryl and Donna Raleigh used to spend every night at the site. Daryl worked in the mines for years.
It hadn't quit like it did, but
for many, though, Wednesday was a reminder of the impact they had.
it's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, just hopefully that it stays bright and they give the money like they're supposed to.
From a release, we've learned Black Jewel plans on paying about $5.5 million to its miners here in the East. Those impacted by Black Jewel met in Whitesburg, where despite word of a paycheck, their attorneys say it's not over.
They're going to get their back pay, but they were damaged a lot more than their back pay.
Ned Pillersdorf and Notre Dame law students helped miners fill out their claims.
The real credit to all of this really belongs to the miners who courageous and their families who blocked the tracks. And we got to give credit for the Department of Labor who weighed in on our side. Having said that, we're not done.
Pillersdorf says they're suing former Black Jewel CEO Jeff Hoops, his son, and Lexington Coal, saying this bankruptcy was illegitimate.
We're going to get through it, and we're going to be better because of it, because we've learned from this. We've learned we have each other's back, and we learned others have our backs as well, and that's what's very important.
Judge Executive Dan Mosley is thankful this day came. He, like many, knew this would be a long process and a battle, but with paychecks now in the mail.
To know that that's going, this is a huge hurdle that has been overcome.
Hopefully it'll end and everybody, you know, go back to their regular routine.
Many are just hoping to see those envelopes in the coming week.
This next line is the most important piece of all of this. The checks that are being sent in the mail are being sent to the last known addresses the miners had while working for Black Jewel. If you are a former Black Jewel miner and you have moved, you will want to fix that. Now, as for the future legal action, attorneys for the miners will be back in Charleston for mediation on November 4th.
And in the middle of all this, one former miner is still battling brain cancer. Tony Saylor first talked to us this summer after his paycheck was revoked the same day a brain scan revealed a tumor. While Saylor's own fight continues, he says he's happy that his fellow miners' battle may soon come to an end.
And I hope everybody goes back to work. The ones that are working, they did. Then we went back. I hope the rest of them goes back. And me, I'm just hoping treatment goes good and spend time with my kids.
Now, Saylor will see his doctor on October 30th to see how his tumor is responding to treatment.
Well, several were honored last night at the Harlan County Chamber of Commerce's annual awards gala. The awards honored people who have been instrumental in helping and inspiring Harlan County over the last year. Joyce Chang, who raised and donated thousands of dollars for the Black Jewel miners, was awarded Harlan Countyan of the Year.
Everything's worth it. Everything's worth it. And bring all these Harlan County together, that's the most important.
Chang said the award could not have come on a better day after hearing the miners would get their back pay. We have a full list of winners over on our website at WYMT.com.
And a Bell County man is behind bars after troopers say he stole tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment from a coal mine operation. It all started at Contract Highwall Mining in Middlesboro. Troopers say they found the equipment at the home of this man, 42-year-old James Lay. The equipment and tools were worth around $30,000. Lay was arrested and charged with theft over $10,000 and lodged into the Bell County Detention Center.
Just a few weeks ago, a Clay County church was burglarized. As a member of the Garrett Holiness Church stopped by to do some cleaning, she noticed something was missing. At the time, they believed only guitars and some money were taken. Officials later received information about a man trying to cash the church's checks.
We discover a Joshua Jarvis had in his possession several of the church's checks that were stolen during the burglary, and he actually had written one out to himself.
Police say they believe more people were involved in this crime, and if you have any information, you should contact the Clay County Sheriff's Department. Well, more than 4 years ago, federal agents descended on eastern Kentucky, investigating what turned out to be one of the largest cases of fraud in United States history.
And after one of the most bizarre sagas the Commonwealth has ever seen, the mastermind behind it all, Eric C. Kahn, was sentenced to 27 years in prison for illegal funneling $600 million from the Social Security Administration before fleeing the country.
Now, we first told you on Wednesday about a court document filed by Kahn earlier this month. In the handwritten petition, Kahn asks a federal judge to vacate his sentence.
This after a court order reinstated the benefits for hundreds of his former clients. Still, hundreds of others are still in the dark.
WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to one Kahn client that has lost all but has a little bit of hope.
A nightmare that hundreds are wishing they could wake up from.
I worked and paid it, and it's mine.
It's been more than 4 years since Brian McCown last received a Social Security check.
I'm in debt way over my head. I'm in debt of at least $50,000 to $60,000.
And now, when he heard the man behind it all, Eric C. Kahn, now believes he deserves to go free.
I was just stunned.
Kahn handwrote a motion from prison saying he was ineffectively advised in court to plead guilty to escape.
You know, how does he think that we feel? It's been 4.5 years that we've not had no income or benefits because of what he had done.
McCown says it feels like they are losing every day.
Enough is enough. If this is not a game, these are people's lives. People have committed suicide over this. And it's so sickening and sad.
And one of those people being one of his best friends.
I told him, I said, just hold on. Everything will be okay. But it wasn't okay.
Even thinking about taking his own life.
I have thought about it. But I can't just quit fighting. I've got to fight because it's mine. It belongs to me. No one else paid that in for me. I paid it in.
4 years and counting, hoping one day the fight will be worth it. In Pike County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Prosecutors filed a countering motion asking if Kahn is waiving his client attorney privilege. Kahn has until November 5th to respond.
And in Rowan County, a former Morehead State University employee is accused of stealing thousands of dollars from the school. Sherry Ward was indicted on several forgery charges this month. And according to the court documents, Ward used a university credit card to buy more than $160,000 worth of items. The indictment also alleges Ward used a rubber stamp to forge a professor's signature. She is scheduled to face a judge in January.
Well, the forecast this morning is still fairly quiet, which is some good news for you folks who are getting out and getting ready to go to work and school. US 119, top of Whitesburg Pine Mountain, all quiet this morning. Temperatures, jackets needed, especially down to the south in most of those valley locations. 39 in Harlan and in Middlesboro, 37 in Danville. That's the coldest spot in our part of the state. 48 and 49 over in Logan and Pikeville, respectively. Some of the warmer spots. That's a few degrees warmer from this time yesterday, where most of us were in the 30s. There's some of us in the mid 30s. So it's a nice, refreshing change. The out-the-door forecast going to stay pretty nice for a little bit, and then those clouds will start to stream in as we head toward the afternoon hours and the chances for showers later. So just keep an eye on that and maybe keep the rain gear handy, especially if you're heading out for some outdoor plans later tonight. Will?
All righty, Mr. Robinson, thank you, and thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News This Morning.
Here's a look at what's coming up.
Tomorrow marks the 18th National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, where people can do their part to get some dangers out of circulation.